What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by Lock City. It's Trey here with you again today, and I hope you guys are having a great start to the week. Hump day. It is Wednesday, and we are on episode number 48. The JuiceBox will be taking a look at the MLB outlook today. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder that you can join our premium tier Discord at wap.com/LockCity for only $5 per month. This will get you access to every cheat sheet every day across all active major sports, access to premium picks from all 9 of our pro cappers, and tons of sports-specific and stat-specific data points on a daily basis to help you become a better sports bettor. That's wap.com/LockCity to get instant access for only 16 cents a day. Tap in. We'd be happy to have you in Lock City. All right. Quick recap from yesterday's pod. Unfortunately, our best bet died in somewhat glorious and heartbreaking fashion. Bubic went 7 strong innings. He looked great. Left the game with a 2-0 lead. 8th inning, 3 up, 3 down. Bullpen's doing great. 9th inning, the Royals bring in their closer. Out number 1, easy peasy. Out number 2, easy peasy. 2 outs, and we give up a hit, a walk, another walk, I believe, to load the bases, and then with 2 strikes, the bases loaded, a meatball down the middle for a base-clearing triple that killed our play of the day, unfortunately. So Bubic leaves without being able to capture the win, despite the Royals getting the win later in extra innings. Heartbreaking. Thought we had a good read there, but the closer could not do the job for us. So we move on to today, and that is going to be where we take our next look. We're going to go ahead and jump right on into today's slate today. I'm using Daily Sheets, my favorite research tool, to break down today's slate. Daily Sheets is a comprehensive research tool that helps you make better bets every day. Daily Sheets provides data and prop projections across major sports, including MLB. So if you're interested in checking it out, go to sheet.today/MLB, and you'll be able to take a look at the top prop projections for the day, cheat sheets for every game breaking down the lineup in terms of projections, matchup history, and current streaks. And you'll also see some information there on first pitch betting, including leaderboards for the season and a link to our social media where you can see some of our free picks of the day if you are not part of Lock City. In Lock City, I post my first pitch bets full slate every single day. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. So to get things started today, afternoon baseball in Atlanta, the Cardinals are at the Braves, 12:15 start in this one. The Braves are -170 favorites. On the mound for the Cardinals, Mike Mikolas sporting a 7.6 ERA so far on the year, and Bryce Elder sporting a 7.2 ERA for the Braves. Looking up the matchup history here, every single batter that is on the list here for the Braves has positive matchup history of 250 or better versus Mike Mikolas, and I'm seeing multiple guys with 1 or 2 home runs, including Kelenic, Ozuna, Olson, all with 2 home runs, Albies, Riley, Fairchild, all with 1 home run. Looks like a good spot there for the Braves in that one. 110 start in New York. The Phillies are at the Mets, and the Phillies are -122 favorites. They lost Christopher Sanchez early in yesterday's game. He left with some forearm tightness, so they'll look to have a better day today. The Phillies have Zach Wheeler going on the mound. He's sporting a 3.7 ERA to start the year, and David Peterson is going for the Mets, the lefty. Both have some favorable matchup histories against them. On the Mets side, they've faced Zach Wheeler and had some good success. Brandon Nimmo is 289 with 2 home runs. Lifetime Francisco Lindor 258 with a home run. Juan Soto 255, 3 home runs, but also a lot of strikeouts. 15 strikeouts in 64 plate appearances. On the other side, we have Nick Castellanos hitting 500 versus David Peterson. Bryce Harper's hitting 381 with a home run. Alex Bohm, 304 with 2 home runs against the lefty there. Elsewhere, Cleveland is hosting the Yankees, 110 start. The Guardians are home dogs, +130 to -155 for the Yanks. On the mound, Carlos Rodon for the Yankees, and to be determined for the Guardians. Not a whole lot of matchup history here, but a couple names that are popping off the board. Carlos Santana is 385 versus Rodon in his lifetime. He has 2 home runs in 45 plate appearances. He's seen him the most. Other than that, very limited matchup history in this one. The Padres are at the Tigers in Detroit, 110 start. Detroit minus 155 home favorites. The total in this one is set at 8.5. Kyle Hart is on the mound for the Padres, sporting a 6.48 ERA on the year. And Reese Olson going for the Tigers, 4.5 ERA to start the year in his 20 innings. Some small but limited history here versus Reese Olson for the Padres. Connor Joe is 2 for 2. Xander Bogaerts 2 for 3. Manny Machado and Tatis 1 hit apiece. Gavin Sheets 2 for 7 against him lifetime. So they have been able to get the bat to him, at least in their 1 or 2 appearances. The Reds are at the Marlins, 110 start in Miami. The Marlins are minus 130 favorites in this one. On the mound, we have Brady Singer going for the Reds and Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Alcantara is sporting a 7.27 ERA. He's had a rough go getting back into it here in his first couple starts. Jaime Candelario, Gavin Lux, Jake Fraley all have seen Sandy before and hit him pretty well. Jake Fraley has a home run off of him in 8 at-bats with 3 hits total. Limited matchup history here versus Brady Singer before. Not going to go through that because it is minuscule. Later in the day, we get to the evening slate, 6:45 start in Boston. The Mariners are at the Red Sox, and the total in this one is set at 10.5. The Red Sox are minus 142 home favorites, and on the mound, we have Emerson Hancock for the Mariners versus Sean Newcomb for the Red Sox. Emerson Hancock has had a rough start to the year. He's brought that ERA down a little bit, but it is still sitting at 12.71. Sean Newcomb, he has a 3.63 ERA. No matchup history for Hancock versus the Red Sox, but Newcomb has seen a good half of this Mariners lineup, and he shut down everybody that he's faced. Nobody that he has faced has a hit off of him. The Orioles are back in Washington again today for Game 2 of this Beltway series. Orioles did not look good yesterday. They got shut out. I believe final score there was 7-0. Orioles are favored again, though, minus 135 to the Nationals, plus 114. On the mound in this one, Tomo Sugano going for the Orioles versus Trevor Williams going for the Nationals. Tomo has settled in pretty good, and we'll see if he can keep it going here today. But I would say today might be his first look at the Delmarva kind of heat and humidity combination. It is a little bit humid today, and the temperatures are supposed to be in the mid to upper 70s by the afternoon. So we'll see how he handles that heat and humidity. Trevor Williams, on the other hand, has a 5.95 ERA to start the year, and he has a somewhat limited history here versus the Orioles. Adley Rutschman is 1 for 2. Jordan Westburg 1 for 2 against him lifetime. He's also shut down a few of the birds that are in the lineup. Tyler O'Neill, 3 for 14, though one of those hits was a home run. He does have 6 strikeouts versus Trevor Williams. Ryan O'Hearn, Ryan Mountcastle, Ramon Arias, Gunnar Henderson, and Cedric Mullins all 0 for 2 in their short history versus him. Tough day to back the birds, in my opinion there. I think I'll probably be staying away and just being a heartbroken fan. The Dodgers are at the Cubs, 7 o'clock start. And, man, if you didn't catch the end of yesterday's game, it was an exciting thriller all the way to the end. No favorites in this one. Both are minus 110 on the money line, and the total in this one is set at 9. They shot way over that. I think both teams cleared that total by themselves yesterday. The Dodgers have not announced their pitcher for tonight, but the Cubs will have Matt Boyd on the mound. Matt Boyd's sporting a 2.01 ERA to start the year, and he has done pretty well against the Dodgers in his career. He's actually seen this lineup quite a bit. He has pretty much shut down a good half of this lineup, including some of the bigger names that you'd like to see some output from. The only kind of bright spots here, Mookie Betts hitting 267 versus him lifetime. Miguel Rojas is 2 for 6. But on the negative side, he has shut down Eddie Rosario hitting only 205, Ohtani hitting 167, Teoscar 54. Freddie Freeman just 1 for 8. Enrique Hernandez 0 for 3. Andy Page is 0 for 3. So some tough sledding here for the Dodgers today against Matt Boyd if he is on his stuff. Might be a day to fade the Dodgers. The Rockies are at the Royals, 7:40 start in Kansas City. The Royals are minus 192 favorites, and the total in this one is set at 8.5. On the mound for the Rockies, German Marquez and Michael Lorenzen going for the Royals. Limited matchup history here against Marquez. Salvi has a home run in 3 at-bats. Jonathan India has a home run in 8 at-bats plus another hit. Bobby Witt is 0 for 2. Hunter Renfroe 1 for 13 versus German Marquez. Versus Michael Lorenzen, Mickey Moniak, Brenton Doyle, Kyle Farmer, all kind of struggling. The only bright spot is Ryan Mann. He has gone 2 for 4 versus Lorenzen in his career. The Blue Jays are at the Astros, 7:40 start in Houston. The Astros are minus 115 favorites, and the total here is 8.5. On the mound, Bowden Francis going for the Blue Jays. He's sporting a 3.13 ERA, and Ryan Gusto sporting a 3.18 ERA for the Astros. Not a whole lot of matchup history because Gusto is a new arm there. He hasn't actually faced the Blue Jays at all. On the other side, the Astros have seen Bowden before, and some positive numbers coming from Jake Myers and Yanier Diaz, Jeremy Pena, Chas McCormick, Yordan Alvarez, all hitting 250 or better. Pena and Diaz both homering versus Francis in their past. The White Sox are at the Twins, 7:40 start in Minnesota. The Twins are minus 258 favorites, and the total in this one is 8.5. On the mound for the White Sox, Bryce Wilson, sporting a 4.5 ERA, and David Fessa for the Twins. Really tough to like anything in this game other than the Twins, I think. There's not a lot of positives to say for the Chicago team as they continue to struggle throughout the year. They are 5-18, though they are covering ATS about 48% of the time. I'm pretty sure that this would either be a money line parlay type of game or stay away. The Twins covered yesterday. They did win by 2, but it was a nail biter, and I'm glad I didn't have my money on it. The Pirates are at the Angels, West Coast game here, 9:38 start. The Angels are minus 155 favorites. The Angels did not hit very well yesterday, gave up a lot of hits to the Pirates, so they're looking to bounce back. The total in this one is set at 9. On the mound, Andrew Heaney for the Pirates, former Ranger there. He's sporting a 2.13 ERA. He's looked good in the black and gold so far. And going for the Angels, Jack Kachanowicz, he's sporting a 6.2 ERA in his 3 starts so far. He has not faced anybody in this Pirates lineup. On the other side, the Angels have seen Andrew Heaney a few different times, and some positive numbers here to keep an eye on. Travis d'Arnaud is 4 for 6 with 2 homers. Zach Neto, 2 for 5 with a homer. J.D. Davis, 4 for 13 with a home run. On the other end of it here, Jorge Soler only 1 for 15. Mike Trout 0 for 1. Joe Adell, Taylor Ward both 0 for as well. The Rays are at the D-backs. This is a 9:40 start in Arizona. The D-backs are minus 148 favorites, and the total in this game is set at 9. Taj Bradley on the mound for the Rays, sporting a 5.2 ERA to start the year. Eduardo Rodriguez, the lefty, going for the D-backs, 4.09 ERA for him. The Rays have seen Eduardo Rodriguez before. Yandy Diaz hitting 391, Brandon Lowe 235 with 3 home runs versus Eduardo Rodriguez in the past. Versus Taj Bradley, Corbin Carroll has gone 2 for 3 with a homer. Eugenio Suarez 2 for 5, both of those hits being home runs as well. Not a lot of positives elsewhere in that D-back lineup. Last 2 games of the night, Milwaukee is at San Francisco. The Giants are minus 155 home favorites here, and the total here is set at just 7. On the mound, Freddie Peralta for the Brewers, sporting a 1.9 ERA, and Logan Webb going for the Giants, sporting his 2.4 ERA. This should be a lower scoring affair. Not a lot of positives coming out of either lineup in their matchup history here. Probably a game I would stay away from on props. If there's any bright side, Jackson Chourio is 1 for 3 with a home run off Logan Webb. And Matt Chapman, 1 for 5 with a home run off of Freddie Peralta. but I think for my money, I'm staying off props on that game. Final game of the night, the Rangers are at the Sacramento Athletics. Minus 112 favorite there for the home team, and the total in this one is set at just 9. Kumar Rocker is on the mound for the Rangers, and JP Sears going for the Athletics. And I would have to think that this is a matchup where I'd be looking at the over. Kumar Rocker sporting a 6.38 ERA to start the year, and JP Sears just a 3.13. Kumar Rocker has seen this lineup before, and he has given up some hits to some of the big names on the A's, including Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, Bleday, and Butler, all managing to get a hit off of him. So we'll see who is going to have the better matchup here and be able to command the zone. All right, that brings us to our favorite part of the pod, where we give you our best bet of the day. Our JuiceBox Lock for Wednesday is going to be Mike Mikolas over 2.5 earned runs. Love seeing all of those positive splits that the Braves had versus Mikolas in that lineup. Lots of firepower there in the Braves lineup, and Mikolas has been struggling to start the year. So Mike Mikolas over 2.5 earned runs, looking for those Brave bats to stay hot today and do the job for us. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more MLB and JuiceBox Locks as this week goes on. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.